Hey there, Descendants, my fellow Americans. Hello to you, Nexon, and hello to people in other countries around the world. How are we all doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. Today's topic is going to be about sort of addressing the no content allegations and also explaining the reasons as to why the game might be sort of drip feeding the content to us as it has been. Because I'm not gonna lie, it definitely has been more of a drip feed than like actual substantial updates, but I think there's a few key reasons to that. Number one, I think this is the biggest and most obvious reason to anyone who knows an inkling about like game development and stuff like that, and what kind of goes on behind the scenes of game development. It's the engine. Unreal Engine 5 is just extremely difficult to develop for. Um, Especially since the developers had basically a week to get acquainted with it and then develop an entire game around it. Thank you, Epic, for that, by the way. That's why when I'm killing enemies with Serena's Ancient Knight, my frames drop to like 10. Appreciate it, Epic. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Love it. But so I mean, all in all seriousness, though, like all in all, like I think it's pretty goddamn impressive what Nexon has been able to pull off here. I mean, not only is this an MMO light, we won't call it a true MMO, an MMO light. It is also a multi-area, multifaceted game, and in its current state, we have all this content to explore and farm to our heart's content, including the Void Intercept battles and stuff like that. We're getting a new Void Vessel area added on the first, which I'm extremely excited for. I believe that's tomorrow. So here's the thing, though. This game is already, or it's also not already. It's also in its early days. This game is 14 months old. It'll be 15 months old next month. Let's just think about that for a second. It's a live service game. It's less than 2 years old. It's still establishing its baseline. It's still establishing its bone structure, so to speak. What, you think they're just adding a new void vessel area just because they want that to constitute as the only content for the rest of time for that area? No. What they're going to do eventually, hopefully when the engine becomes more stable and hopefully when they're better acquainted with the engine and we get more optimization updates and stuff like that. Um, my biggest thing is I want more missions added to Axion. 100%. That's the biggest thing because let's see how many we have here. So I have 12 or so, including the bike races. Excluding the bike races, we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we have 7 excluding the bike races. That's not enough. I hope in the future, I don't really care how long it takes them. I'm willing to wait. I hope in the future we do get more missions in Axiom Plains. I hope eventually, maybe in the future, like once a week, we have one of the main areas of the story. We switch up the missions here. Like we have, I don't know, different missions around the map. Like it doesn't need have to be more missions because this is already quite a bit. But like maybe they could add new stuff. Maybe they could add new resources to the missions or whatever. But the thing is, like I said, you know what I mean? Like until the game has all of the pieces in place, so to speak, we're not really going to get these big, massive updates. And like I said, I think the biggest reason is because of Unreal Engine 5. And I think the second biggest reason is because this game is still establishing its identity. It's still establishing its baseline, its bone structure. So you have to take these things into account when you look at it overall and you're like, okay, well, this game has no content. Yeah, there's extremely valid reasons for that. Number one is because you're a vet and you're in the minority in terms of the percentage of players. Majority of players are going to be newer players or experienced players like myself, right? The vets going to be extremely, extremely low because a lot of them just fell off before they even got to the quote-unquote veteran status and just moved on to different games because looter shooters are a very, very in that sort of niche margin of it's an acquired taste sort of deal with games like this. Like for me personally, I have autism. So like I love repetition, but I also have ADHD. So like I don't just want to run the same mission over and over and over again. When you see my stream, you see me do a whole bunch of things. Maybe I'll run Sigma for like an hour or 30 minutes or something like that. Then I move on to, I don't know, farming a reactor or just whatever. And not only that, but like as of lately, I feel like there has been more new players versus players that aren't new to the game that have been coming into the game. I've had a few people in my comments say, "Hey, I'm new to the game. Thank you so of my beginner's guide videos. Thank you so much for this video. I learned this, this, or this." Um, and those videos have views, and those videos have almost as many views as my other videos about the game, like this one you're watching right now. To Nexon, my advice personally would be add more stuff to the game when you can, but I'm personally going to be more patient, and I want to sincerely apologize to you, Nexon, for jumping to conclusions as I have with videos about, you know, the updates, just seeing it on paper and stuff like that, and not really seeing you get to talk about it and actually explain yourselves like you did on the live stream. And, you know, just add stuff when you can. Listen to your community, but also listen to the players like me who will take the time to actually think about these things and actually at least try to look at everything objectively, because I genuinely I was only looking at things through a limited lens in some of my videos that I had sent to you guys, and I do apologize for that. But henceforth, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic at worst and extremely hopeful and I'm excited, Nexon. I am excited, and I thank you. And I thank you for dealing with us asshole players as much as you have. I thank you for everything that you've given. I mean, dude, look at this. Look at how beautiful this game looks, dude. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect. It's not optimized to the degree that we expect necessarily in 2025. But this game is still beautiful. It still has an amazing art style. It still has an amazing color palette to it, you know. Also, Nexon, could we get some color in Albion besides this? I mean, I know we have all the players and stuff like that, but like all the white stuff, could we just maybe mix it up a bit? We have a community poll or something like that. We can pick 4 color schemes, and we all vote on it. But I digress. That's not really the important thing here. The important thing is I appreciate Nexon, and I appreciate this game, because this game is to me, especially at this point, it's becoming more than just a game to me. But it's not even necessarily because like I'm being more and more personally involved in the community throughout my YouTube growth and stuff like that. It's more than a game to me in the sense of no other game tickles my fancy quite the way this game does, and that's not because of the boobs and booty, okay? It's because of the way the game is structured. It's because of the way that you can continue to get stronger and stronger until you can't, supposedly. I'm still doing that, of course, with a lot of my characters. My Serena is almost there, but she's not quite there yet. My Nell is almost there, but she's not quite there yet. And as for the rest, fuck, man, I got a lot of work to do, okay? But just trust the process, guys. And there was someone who commented on either one of my videos or one of my posts. I think it was on my video saying, you know, just trust the process. I can't remember which. But to that person, if you're watching this video, I just want to say thank you so much for that, because I'm now going to take that advice moving forward. And you know, guys, we just have to retain a little bit more patience than we currently have, okay? I understand that we're running out of things to do. I get it. You know, I understand that at some point, you know, most of us are going to have nothing to do, right? But as it stands right now, the veterans who have nothing to do are in the minority in the player base. So there's not really necessarily that much of a push for devs to drop an assload of new content every month. And personally, I don't want them to, right? I want them to structure the game as they want to structure it. I want them to forge the game's identity before we get to the point of, okay, we're doing mass updates, we're doing mass this, we're doing this, that, and the other high quantities of things. I want the quality to be there over having a million fucking things to do, right? I mean, you guys had me for a second with the no content allegations. For a second, you did have me. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not with it. Because the proof is in the pudding, right? Like, we look at the game again; it's young in its lifespan, and not only that, but like I said in the beginning, the issues with Unreal Engine 5 are not to be overlooked or just simply dismissed when you're trying to sit here and say, oh, this game has no content. That is a big factor that is in play. You can't ignore that. Game development, the game has to be developed for the game to be a fucking game, okay? The blueprints have to be established before the building is built. It's the same way with using a game engine that actively probably works against them in terms of delivering the new content and stuff like that. They have to play test it, you know. And honestly, like I said, right now they probably can't do more. And honestly, I don't blame them. Even if they can do more and they're not, I understand exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to establish the baseline first and foremost. They're trying to test the limits of the engine. They're trying to test the limits of the consoles interacting with the engine in the game. Because like I said, my FPS drops when I use my Ancient Knight and resource defense. That shit is crazy. You know, in a year we might not even have this stuff on PS5 anymore. It might be PC only. We don't know. They're trying to do their best. You have to look at it in every facet. You can't just look at it from, okay, well, we're only getting this in October. Yeah, that's for the first part, though. And then in November, we're getting Ultimate Agent, and we're getting a whole bunch of other stuff. And then probably next year, beginning of next year, we're going to get Ultimate Haley. And then fast forward a few months later, probably Ultimate Inez is next after that, or or Ultimate Kyle, you know, something like that. There's stuff to look forward to. There's going to be new Descendants that come out slowly but surely. And eventually, we will get to the point of where we get to these mass updates to where we change things in the world map. You know, like we change things. For example, Hagios, we just cycle out some missions for some brand new missions with some brand new resources that you can only get there. You know, there's always going to be incentive to playing these new areas. You think they're adding the Void Vessel area and not giving us new resources to farm? Fuck no, they're not. They're going to add that incentive. They're going to add new resources that we need for items to obtain in the October. Hell, for the swords, probably. I know the swords are on the sword pass, but maybe resources to upgrade them. That might be what's in the new Void Vessel. We don't know yet. You know, we don't know until it comes out tomorrow. So, is it tomorrow? Let me just check real quick. I don't want to look dumb. Yeah, literally tomorrow. We will know tomorrow at 10 a.m. my time. It's in 28 hours. 28 hours we will know. So, but yeah, to Nexon, I thank you. I apologize. And like I said, I'm going to be more patient moving forward with you guys 100%. I'm not going to yap every time I see something that raises even a hair on my precious shiny head. And to the community, guys, we have to bear with them. This is the time where we need to lock down. We need to say, okay, you know, just back off the pedal a little bit, let them do their thing, let them develop the game, let them make the bones before we start wanting the meat, you know, all the meat on the cow. Okay, we got to let the cow's bones grow before the embryo, or not the embryo, before, you know, before the muscles get there, right? It has to grow, it has to expand, and what comes with time? Growth. Okay? Growth is what comes with time. So yeah, I think that's about it. I don't want to ramble on too long. I know a lot of you aren't even going to watch fucking 5 minutes of this, so. But yeah, if you did watch until the end, thank you so much for watching, and you're one of the real ones. Drop a comment down below if you made it to the end. Please and thank you. And if you disagree with anything I said, let me know. Just be respectful in the comments, you know what I mean? Don't have a fucking war amongst yourselves, okay? Just keep it cool, keep it civil. You know what I'm saying? We're all adults here. You know, we know how to have a respectful debate and disagreement, okay? No name calling. We don't need that, all right? And stop saying shit about Warframe. No one cares, okay? And if you do it, I'm going to reply to you, and I'm going to get this pushed further into the algorithm. All right, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. Good morning, or good evening, or good night, whenever you're watching this. And to Nexon, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are one of my favorite developers. I think that goes without saying. I stream your game nonstop. I make videos about your game nonstop. And I believe in you guys. Okay? I'm sorry it took me a little while, but I believe in you. I know you can do it. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.